Hello, a very good afternoon to you. Well, this year the grounds of Cardiff Castle provide a splendid backdrop for the start of the Shell International Welsh Rally. In the past, the rally has started in Llandrindod, Wales, but this year the organisers and the sponsors have decided to start and finish the rally here in the capital city. Well, the Welsh Rally has long since established itself as one of the major events on the rallying calendar. And over the years, the calibre of the contestants has been ample proof of this. And the list of past winners reads like a who's who of modern rallying. Names like Bjorn Valdegaard, Stig Blomqvist, Ari Vartanen, and of course, last year's winner, Hannu Mikkola. But what is it that makes the Welsh Rally so special?
This Welsh Rally is my favourite rally in UK because it's got such a fantastic special stage. It's very twisty and not so many long straights as in some other parts of UK.
Michele Mouton, runner-up in the World Championship last year. This is your first time on the Welsh Rally. You're looking forward to it?
Yes, of course. You know, I am very happy to do this English Championship. But Wales, I know a little bit. I have been doing the National Audi Sport Rally last year, more in the north, and I like the area. I like the stage in the forest.
How does it compare with some of the other rallies that you enter?
Well, every rally's got its own special character. I mean, you can't really compare them. I mean, it's got everything going for it.
And the special stages are as gruelling or more gruelling?
Probably not that gruelling because they're quite short. But saying that, they're testing because you've got to try very hard on shortish stages. You can't afford to relax and you've got to get in and give it a good send.
Being your own home ground, you're obviously going to get a lot of support this year. Are you aware of that support when you're flying through Eklund?
Obviously, I'm aware of it at the start and the finish, but when you're driving quickly over Eklund, you don't have time to think about anything else but driving quickly over Eklund.
This year's Welsh Rally covers 694 miles with 36 gruelling special stages. The first of which is here in Bute Gardens. Here with a description of the course is Richard Davis.
The start of this 1.6 mile course here in Bute Park. Down through, over a narrow little bridge, left hand, 90 left, into the quadrangle, under the sides of the castle, the flowery trees looking very, very pleasant indeed. Long, looping right-hander with a little kink to the left in the middle, which you can't quite see. As they come out of the quadrangle, they come up this short straight into this very, very sharp hairpin to the left for the drivers. Having got out of that hairpin, there is a little bit of respite for the drivers because they've got a few hundred yards of straightish road. I say straightish because it's very difficult to get the braking area absolutely right, and I think we're going to see some interesting action. As the cars come out from under the trees, a very fast section of the course, approximately 120 miles an hour, should be reached here. As the cars will scream up the side, landing into this hairpin, which is right back, and that tree just coming into view on the right is, I think, going to receive possibly a bit of attention. Out they come in now to the last bends, right under left, the road fairly narrow, and it's going to need real determination on the driver's part to get a good time here as they come up towards the end of this course, the 1.6 mile course. The warning boards there, that's where the timing finishes, and the cars stop it just by those boards there.
Well, all the preparations and last-minute alterations have now taken place and the drivers are raring to go. First on the grid is Michele Mouton. So back to Richard Davis.
The car will be flagged down, 5 seconds to go, will be shown to the driver, and then it will leap forward on this superb course in Bute Gardens. 2, 1, and the Welsh International Competitive Station gets underway. A short sprint up into third gear, over the bridge, into the sharp left-hander, second gear, into Bute Gardens. The trees looking absolutely marvellous, the sounds echoing back from the castle. Let's really enjoy this four-wheel drive quattro. Thousands of people here this morning as she comes. This is a difficult stage. This is one where the least mistake can make things very, very difficult. Sharp left-hander now gets going into a right kink. Right-hand kink now. Michele Mouton, 0 to 60 in about 3.5 seconds in this motor car. The turbocharger boost well up. Audis have had a very bad record of reliability recently. My gosh, she's hanging on. About a mile into the course, she'll come to a very sharp left-hand hairpin, which hooks right back. And don't forget, folks, Michele Mouton doesn't know this course. None of the drivers have seen this course or driven it before. Coming up very rapidly indeed. This is the hairpin. Oh, I think we're going to see some fun here. The four-wheel drive will go very well on that grass, just misses the tree and keeps going. Now halfway, approximately just over halfway down the course, Michele Mouton. 1984, she's been developing the Audi Quattro Sport, finishing the RAC rally after a series of mechanical setbacks. In fact, on the circuit of Ireland, she failed to finish again because of mechanical failure. She's really tigerish and will be looking for a good result. Here she goes into the left-right, coming out to the right-hander, swinging along, having reached some 120 miles an hour during the course of this stage, goes through the finishing traps, stops, and we get a time of 1 minute 46 seconds. 1 minute 46 on our clocks. Next car, this is the man to watch, an absolutely incredible drive coming up. Per Eklund from Sweden, driving a Group A motor car. Now, this means that this car is nearly in standard production trim. Certain modifications allowed. Per Eklund, who's done hill climbs, rallies, and rallycross. First on the National Breakdown Rally in 1984, and the first round of the Open Championships. 12 points ahead of Tony Pond in the Rover Vitesse, another Group A car, comes safely out to the right-hander, up to the nasty left, 90 left. Very gentle, nose, not too much, a little bit of fireworks. Must have heard me when I was saying there's no fireworks. Per always turns the pressure on at the right moment, and he has done it there absolutely beautifully. As he's coming up now towards the end, left and right through the traps, and 1 minute 39 I think is what I got as a time there for Per Eklund. So he is much quicker, in fact, than Michele Mouton. Number 4, Jimmy McRae, all the way from Scotland, the man that is absolutely incredible and is in 4th place in the championship with 15 points. Trees looking beautiful. Driving the Opel Manta 400, 275 brake horsepower. He'll give the crowd here a great deal to look at. Jimmy McRae, 3 times in the last 4 years, he's won the Open Rally Championship. Oh, his head comes out beautifully. The Open Rally Championship. He's never shone on the Welsh International Rally, 2nd in 1981 for this 41-year-old ex-plumber. His sons are already learning to rally. In fact, he was a former motorcycle trials champion, stayed loyal to General Motors product for many, many years. 4th on last year's Welsh, and hitting up about 120 miles an hour right there. Fastest part of the course, coming up to the hairpin any moment. Still actually where the dust really comes up for us. About a minute gone, so he's pushing on very well. National Breakdown, he failed to finish earlier this year. We started from York, finished 8th on the Costa Bianca rally in Spain, won the 85 Circuit of Ireland. That's his 4th ever circuit win, and Jimmy McRae is probably the best exponent on tarmac in Britain today. Very, very proud of Jimmy McRae. Super character, just hugging it beautifully here in Butte Gardens. Lovely to see the Welsh International starting in Wales. 1:33, I've got that for Jimmy McRae, which puts him fastest. Well, here's a man we all know very, very well indeed. It is Russell Brookes. Russell Brookes, who is just waiting for the flag to be lifted at this precise moment. Russell Brookes, one of the leading Welsh Rally contenders in recent years, and coming through absolutely fantastic the way he is pushing his way around there. This long looping right-hander coming up very shortly. He's coming out of the right-handers into the left. Driven Ford Escorts before on road events, starting Group 1, then switched to Talbot. We seem to have forgotten about that. Don't forget, they won the World Championship in 1980. Since then, we've seen the 4-wheel drive cars come into being. There's that nasty left hook. Did he lose a little bit of time there? It's about 34 seconds. Let's watch that very carefully. So here he is coming now onto a very fast part of the course through Butte Gardens, heading north. I walked up that piece of road yesterday, and I must say it wasn't as busy as it is right now. About 120 miles an hour in 5th gear, really pushing on. Breaks the car down because he doesn't know where the corner goes. The dust comes up again. And there we are, the car back into view. Long association between Russell Brookes and General Motors. Oh yes, a loss of time there. I reckon he's about 3 or 4 seconds down at that particular point. Third in the 1984 Open Series, third on the Scottish Rally, retired on the Manx in 1985, second on the 85 National Breakdown from York, and second on the Circuit of Ireland after leading for most of the event. And this is the Shell Oil's National Open Rally Championship leader here, halfway point in the championship. Coming up to the finish, 1:33. So that means that the two works drivers have tied with 1:33, McRae and Brookes. There, this is car number 6, Malcolm Wilson. Malcolm Wilson in the Quattro, the privately owned Quattro, comes from Cumbria, setting off, very, very popular. Local hero with so many people. He's worked with Fords. He's into this long right-hand loop right now, and will come up to that left-hand kink, which I'm sure you recognise already. He's a former British National Rally champion, spending time at the moment, although he's got this private drive with this Quattro, he is spending time developing that right-hand out to the bottom of this long looping right-hand series, comes into the left-hander, and will now really put on speed. He's in fact developing a new Ford four-wheel drive Escort, which looks and handles nothing like a normal Escort. It's incredible. So here we are, Malcolm Wilson, 28 years of old, 28 years of age, and never mind, he makes me feel old the way he goes. He's absolutely marvellous. Has in fact, I talked to him 2 years ago on the Scottish Rally, and immediately afterwards he disappeared in the most monumental role. And he's coming into this sharp left-hander. Now the four-wheel drive should really pull him off the grass. See how oh, just missed that tree. That was a little bit naughty, that was. Wilson there, finding it very, very difficult indeed. Very, very difficult indeed. Malcolm Wilson, fastest part of the course now, really going along, starts to break down. He's coming up towards the end of the course. Is he going to beat McRae and Brookes? 1:33, don't forget, for them. It's close, it is. 1:30, we've got it. Fastest time, Malcolm Wilson beating the works, Opel Mantas.
Well, Cliff Mainwaring is chairman of the South Wales Automobile Club. He's also the organiser of the rally this year. I asked him earlier what preparations go into the setting up of such an event.
About 12 months. We've got 2,000 officials that will be spread all over Wales. They'll all be in the right place at the right time with the right equipment to do the right thing, and it's quite a logistic operation.
Where do you get these marshals from?
They come from all over the UK, basically. Wales, England, Scotland, all the motor clubs in the UK.
There's also a lot of charity work involved as well, isn't there, as well as organising the rally itself?
That's right. We ran a rally forum last night and raised £1,000 for charity for Nazareth House and a hospice in Bradford.
The event has moved this year to Cardiff from Llandrindod-Wells for the start. Why was that?
The International Welsh Rally is the Principality's major sporting event, and we felt that it was only fitting that it should be in the beautiful city of Cardiff and in Cardiff Castle, and with the help of the Cardiff City Council, you know, we think this year the event will be that much better.
If I can turn to you, Ron, you're clerk of the course. What exactly does your work entail?
Well, I suppose you could call me the team manager. I'm really there to make sure that everyone else does their job properly. At the end of the day, if there are any problems, I'm likely to get the blame for it. So I've just got to make sure that everyone else has done their jobs.
What about the safety aspect from the spectators' point of view?
Well, as Cliff has said, we've got up to 2,000 marshals who will be in stages looking after the interests of spectators and competitors alike. We are very, very lucky in this country. We've got really good marshals. They're reputed to be the best in the world, and I honestly think they are. They know what they're doing. They work with spectators rather than against spectators, and generally the spectators are well behaved and stand where they are asked to stand and don't stand where they are asked not to stand. This helps us a great deal, of course.
Now back to the action with Richard Davis.
Kevin Gormley and Terry Kaby. Kevin Gormley and Terry Kaby. Terry Kaby much underrated in the UK. He certainly is, in my mind, one of the fastest men on tarmac, and crashed out of the Circuit of Ireland only a couple of weeks ago at Easter whilst lying fourth. A very heavy car, this Nissan, a very heavy motor car, but Terry Kaby will certainly make it handle. He ran into a very strong bank on the Circuit of Ireland and didn't do the car any good at all. It's a privately entered motor car. Won the Corte Ingles Rally in Spain last year, fourth on the Ziatni Rally in Bulgaria last year, and seventh on the RSC Rally, except for the fact he missed a passage control. Now the point of rallying is, as Terry Kaby and Kevin Gormley come round our sharp left-hander, is that the times on each stage are added together, and the driver in each classification, this is a highly modified car running in Group B, in fact are added together, and the one obviously with the shortest amount of time in total for the period spent on the special stages is the one to judge the winner of that class or overall. So here is Terry Kaby. Lives just outside Silverstone Racing Circuit. Comes up to this sharp left hand. Look how tight this corner is. This Datsun should come round with the tail. A little bit of handbrake. Out it comes. Misses the tree. Misses the tree very nicely indeed. So Terry Kaby, 34-year-old, and lives down in Northampton, a professional rally driver. Fourth on the Corsica Rally way back in 1981. Has had some very bad luck, has driven for Vauxhall Opel in the past. See the opposite lock on that left-hand corner. Watch the front wheels moving in the opposite way to the car. Into the finish, 1:35. 1:35 then for Terry Kaby. A very good performance, rear-wheel drive car. Next car to go is, in fact, number 8, local Welsh hero, comes from Haverfordwest. This is Llewellyn, who is the guy that upheld the Audi Quattro honour on the Circuit of Ireland when he was the only Audi driver to finish. He was 25 years of age. Only on Friday he's won the Pirelli cars and car conversions a diamond, which is a superb. Ooh, a little wide there. David lost time. Spectators move, and well they might. Goes wide into the left-hander, takes it well. Four-wheel drive, the tail comes out. He's really trying. Now David, I was talking to him earlier, and he's on the grass again. Oh my gosh, he's really tigering on. Now, is he under too much pressure in front of his home crowd, or is he not? This is going to be the question. I've never seen a Quattro go like this. It's powering. The front and the tail are actually trying to change places with each other under acceleration. He's got some. You can turn the boost up on these cars. It's a turbocharged engine, and you can get 500 horsepower into this sharp left-hander a mile into the 1.6. David, it's a little wide. Oh, just misses that tree. Reigning British National Rally champion. Comes from Haverfordwest, as we say. Last year, to win the British National Series, he drove 3 different cars, an Escort, a Nissan, and a 240 RS. The Opel Manta 400, he's 3 different motor cars there. Whiting Rally, he won the first at the time of this year, 1:34, could be 1:35. Well, that puts him into second place, and Michele Mouton still well behind, but he's in second place. Look at this Opel Manta really sitting very nice. Touch of the brakes just to make sure that there is adhesion there. Through the kinks. Coming up now towards this sharp left-hander. How is Bertie Fisher going to take it? Bertie Fisher. Well, there you see the problem with two-wheel drive is that you all go through the rear wheels, and you can end up with the car just not getting away quickly enough. 2.4 litre Opel Manta 400, and of course don't forget that Vauxhall Opel are developing something as an answer to Audi right now, and so are Ford. It's going to be interesting, the big battle, and it's going to be not such a fast time for Bertie Fisher. Got to beat 1:33 to beat McRae and Brookes, and it's going to be 1:39 for Bertie Fisher. This is Tony Pond. Tony Pond, who is quite incredible. If you want to see action, you've got it here. This is a Works Group A, i.e. allegedly standard, Rover Vitesse with Rob Arthur by the side of him. Tony Pond went out on this year's RAC International Rally, sorry, last year's, because it was in November, on the first stage, and in fact he has got a bit of a name for disappearing into the scenery on the first stage. We believe that it was tyre problems, at least that's what they tell me. So I wonder if he'll manage to make it home at this moment. Tony Pond is not only a works and professional rally driver, he's also a helicopter pilot. And when you see him going, oh, a nice little bit of tail tweaking there, the V8 Rover Vitesse, the car that is swept for the last 2 years, the British Saloon Car Championship, and here it is in rallying. It's a real big Bertha. It's a massive motor car, and it doesn't go like Grandad's Rover, I can tell you. Top speed about 150 miles an hour, and it is incredible. Tony Pond. Tony Pond making for home into this left-hander. He'll get the tail out right now. There, lovely, misses a tree. The front end beautifully conducted. Tony Pond won the Group A standard production on the Manx International, driving this Rover Vitesse. Told you he crashed on the first stage of the RAC Rally. Failed to finish on the national breakdown, and in fact is some 15 points behind Per Eklund in the Toyota in the standard production class. 134! 134! This is quite incredible. Ties in with Llewellyn's Quattro. Tony Pond, much better luck, and finishes the first stage, which he'll be very pleased to do. Next one's to go. This is very different. Pentti Airikkala, driving a standard Group N Astra GTE. Now, Pentti has a record of being very hard on motor cars. He either finishes in one piece or doesn't finish at all. His hobbies include weightlifting. He's the Finnish champion. He's driven many, many vehicles of all descriptions over the years. He's rated, dare this commentator say, in his eyes as being an absolutely superb driver. Into this left-hander, front-wheel drive. There he goes, front-wheel drive. One of the great names in rallying. Gave Vauxhall their first ever international win way back in 1977. When driving the Chevette, when he became the British Open Rally champion, and in '83, driving a rented Vauxhall Escort, drove on the Welsh International. That was the last time he did the Welsh. He retired on the Monday night on the Circuit of Ireland, but I don't think he's going to aim to retire tonight on the Welsh International. Yes, you can see it's a much smaller little motor car, the 1985 Astra GTE, 1.8 litre fuel-injected engine, running in the production class, and he will be trying very, very hard indeed, as you can see. So, Pentti Airikkala, rumoured to be driving a Lancia. The deal didn't come together, but here he is, as he says, practicing with this front-wheel drive Astra GTE, ready for four-wheel drive. 136! Now, that really shows economy of movement, because he's moved up tremendously. 136.
So the 1985 Welsh Rally gets underway. Will the Audi Quattros make it 4 wins in a row, or will the Opel Mantas that have been so successful in the National Championship so far this season break that monopoly? Well, the fastest car here this morning was the Audi Quattro of Malcolm Wilson. Will he win the rally? At 6 o'clock on Sunday evening, we'll know the answer. But between now and then, there are 694 miles and 36 gruelling special stages, and a lot could happen. From us all here in the grounds of Cardiff Castle, a very good afternoon to you.